So this is my other mock draft. I'm in the third position in this one. So we'll see how this goes. Let me reset everything. One, defense is 0 because I don't care about defenses. And then pick 3. So it's gonna be pretty easy in the beginning. One thing I'll show is a trick I use sometimes. Let me start right here. So all I do is I change the BBD, so pay special, multiply, sorry about that, I cut everything in half. So this means they're compared with the median player. And how this adjusts things, you see, it accounts for the fact that the replacement player and the way the tiers work is very different if you use a median. Oh, it's on me. Well, that's gonna be easy. I mean, I can go through the exercise of doing this, but it would be very clearly area and false, no matter how you slice it. And look how big of a jump that is. I'm getting 40 points by picking him up over what I'll be able to get later. So, anyways, the reason you do this is because who you're actually playing is not a replacement level player. Most value-based drafting is based on the replacement player. But one of the things I like to do is early on is I cut it in half because I say I want to see how my player fares against the median player, which means almost on average what my benefit will be. So that's why I do that. It's a really powerful way to add value and adjust your draft, and you can see how it moves people. Oh, I need to make sure tight ends are showing. And that's the interesting thing it does. It shoots tight end way up your list because the average point benefit you're going to get, 60 points over the year. It's over 16 games, so that's huge. That's like, what, 4 points a game almost per whoever you're playing against. It's a 4-point bonus essentially every time you play. You're going to be winning that position against the average player. So, and as you can see, Gronk is about 420. I'm sorry, 20 less. So that's how it works. Something I suggest, and then the way you put it back is you just take a 2 and you can multiply it. We do this the long way. Pay special, multiply, you multiply it all by 2. And that does it by replacement. And you want to do that later in the rounds because at some point, if you're using the median, once you get past that middle level player, everything turns negative. So anyone with a positive BBD will seem good. So it just skews your values once you get towards the middle. So what I like to do sometimes is start with the value above average or median in this case, and then switch to value above replacement. Really cool way to just make sure your team is optimized and really top heavy. So I'm going to pause this, update all my spreadsheets, and hopefully join you guys back around pick 19. And I am back. I got a little behind in updating my sheet, but that's good because I can show you how quick and easy it is to update it. So Chris Johnson, AJ Green. One of the things I like to do is just take it. AJ Green, Brandon Marshall. Wow, I thought I was really going to get Aaron Rodgers. I'll type it in. Steven Ridley. Cool. So it says to take Tom Brady or tight end. This is a close one. So what I like to do is I check these because this is a marginal decision. I can just go with what I want. And I'm a big fan drafting a tight end early, just due to the uncertainty with Gronk. And I don't have a good idea where Gronk's going to land. And I don't think I've updated this since the news with Aaron Hernandez regarding Tom Brady. So I think that half a point difference, I could feel pretty comfortable taking Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham. Tom Brady went right after that. So interesting call. We'll see if Brady goes off this year, but I really like picking quarterback late in the tight end early, you usually have to choose between one of those things, and keep that in mind when you're looking at this, which is why you provide these value-based points. This is essentially the drop-off that you're going to get between when you pick next. So, for instance, because these are a longer period, this is typically a bigger decision. My 27th pick. So right now it's Percy Harvin, which probably will be my pick because I think Percy Harvin's pretty undervalued. But you can see the QB's kind of close. You say QB Cam Newton. Yeah, I'm really high on Cam this year. He's projected to draft 29th, so he's someone I'm probably going to miss out on. But given the drafts, that's what it is. Let me adjust this. I don't need to see tight end anymore. So 0.25. I always like to keep a little bit of a buffer there just in case there's someone who's sticking out like a sore thumb. I don't let other people steal in my drafts. So Demarius Thomas, he's a tough one. He's impossible to spell, and you got to find him. So cool. Most likely be taken just before me. So that's the other thing you're going to notice is typically because you're projecting who's going to draft versus you can be who's just taken or who's going to be taken. So my next option is recommending is Larry Fitzgerald. It's 5 points difference between that and QB. That's not huge, but I'm still going to go ahead with Larry Fitzgerald. Only thing I'll double check, the next pick's not until 46, so make sure he's 33. He's a little early, but I'm high on him. So cool. So I feel like it's a pretty strong core. I'm going to pause it here. Hopefully we'll be back soon, and I'll keep updating this as I go. Popping back in just to show you, this is something I do pretty much in all my drafts. I show this trick. But one of the things I do is in order to keep my draft board sort of clean, I just select everything here, hide it, and move on to the next one. So stop to Julio Jones, next is Andre Johnson, and I keep going. So that's it. So joining back in a little early, but I have to make a couple adjustments. I want everybody to see them. So first thing I'm going to do is, as you can see, these numbers turn negative, so it sort of skews your results once you get to negative value-based drafting. You can keep adjusting this later on. So all I do is multiply everything by 2, and now it goes back to value over replacement. And as you can see, it changes things quite a bit, particularly in the quarterback space. Because anytime there's a big drop-off, anytime you change the point where you're comparing against where the drop-off is in that position is going to change the VBD answer. So that's all it is. So I've updated it. It's moving a little faster now. Should be up soon. I still need to make adjustments for the players I've already taken. Lowering the importance of those positions. T wide receiver. So I would get them pretty clean. I could adjust wide receiver if I thought it was more important. Take a running back earlier, but I'll let the spreadsheet do its magic. So right now it's saying Colin Kaepernick. This is a even round, so the difference between that and the cube wide receiver isn't huge. One of the things I like to do is check behind me. So QB's not on the table for him, so I could be safe waiting. Colin Kaepernick, the difference between him and Russell Wilson is 4 points. I know it can't be more than that. So while this is saying 29, I can use a little bit of intelligence and say it can't be more than that. The difference between that and a wide receiver is really indifferent. This is a tough one. Usually I just go with what my sheet says. It's tough call, so I'll just take Kaepernick. And whatever wide receiver falls to me, I'll be happy to take them. Gronk. Colin Kaepernick is who I took. And now the answer is going to be Reggie Wayne or whatever wide receiver falls to me. Cool. So I'll go ahead and set that up. Send them to top. Next I have Jordy Nelson. To bottom, send to bottom. So I'm getting one of those guys. We'll just have to wait and see. I expect one of them to be taken by this guy. Well, Marcus Colston's still on the board, so maybe it looks like him. So far, I like the way my team's shaping up for a back, and arguably one of the top two running backs, and clearly the top tight end. One of the things I noticed is Gronk went really late. I haven't updated that, so my ranking's still. Where's Gronk? I have Gronk at 41. I think that's dropping with the news that he's going to be on the PUP list. So that will actually push Jimmy Graham further and further up, and it's really important to get him. And if you are in a bad spot, to where you're picking like 17th or something, it's going to be really tough to come up with the right answer on when you should draft him. But it's better safe than sorry. Like if you look at the value-based draft answer, he actually should be a first round pick. It's just hard. But just keep that in mind when you're drafting. Getting him is going to be at a minimum or an average of 4-point benefit and probably more once Gronk drops down the rankings. So Marcus Colston, this is easy. Just draft Jordy. Well, let me update this just to make sure. Marcus Colston. Cool. Where's your land? Cool. Jordy Nelson, feel really good there. Now, as my team takes shape, I'm going to be adjusting these points factors. These are the factors that's used to create these value-based drafting numbers. Depending on who's taken and what I think the risk of my team looks like, I'm going to be adjusting these to lower the probability of getting one of these guys. So right now I've got a quarterback. He's good, but there's still a chance. Like if Russell Wilson is the number one pick at that point, I would take, like at some point I would just take the quarterback. But anyways, so as I go along, I'll adjust these, and I do that largely based on what I think the risk is. Like Larry Fitzgerald and Jordy Nelson are not locks for by any means, so I'll probably keep the wide receiver thing open. Probably lower it just a little bit, just because I need to make sure that I'm compensating and getting some running backs. The good thing is I have one running back who's a lock, so I essentially am going to be drafting 4 or 5 running backs for one position, which I love. Maybe 2 if you count the flex, but we'll see where I go on wide receiver. See you later. And I'm back. So I had to step away from my computer. And I probably won't be able to get this in time. And one of the good things is you can update, and it's not a guess. So I know exactly what my rankings are. And as such, I can update my queue if I walk away. So one of the things I don't have in here is I have Big Ballard really high. It's a even odd round. Then draft a wide receiver. I already have 2, so I need to look at this. And QB. I have a QB that's available late, so I'm taking Ahmad Bradshaw. And the reason being he's not showing up is because I still have Big Ballard, and so I haven't accounted for the fact that Ahmad Bradshaw's there. He's better than Big Ballard in my opinion, talent-wise. He may get injured, but that's why I like having these people to rotate, and hopefully I'll get one more. I'll be fine. One more running back. So let me adjust this. I don't have a big enough factor in here for QB. So Steve Smith will be my next obvious pick, and I'm gonna have to discount Vic Ballard and adjust my future rankings. But Steve Smith is clearly the way to go. There's still a lot of good wide receivers available. Steve Smith, he must have gotten taken. I must have missed him. Yeah, I missed him.